Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, guys. How are you? I hope you're all okay. It is Tommy. It is Wednesday night. It is time for our weekly live stream. How are you? I can see that Liminal is here. Liminal Space. Welcome. Thanks very much for tuning in. Coming back. For some reason, your chat comment isn't showing up on the stream, and I just want to double check why. How are you? Have you had a good week? Have you been busy? What have you been up to? How am I doing? I am doing fine. I'm doing really good. I have had a busy week working, sorting the next steps out of for the promo side of this song that I'm going to release in the next couple of weeks called Stuck. And yeah, it's pretty much just been working and sorting promo out and sorting out stuff for the run up to this release. Your chats still aren't appearing when I click on them, and I don't know why. Liminal, you've just dropped out of school. Why? Is it holidays, or have you literally you've literally dropped out? Like, interesting that you have. That's a hectic week if you have actually dropped out of school. So I hope you're all good. I hope you're happy with the decision that you've made and stuff. What kind of music do I make? I don't actually really know. I think I'm on my 15th song now, and again, this one is a different kind of sound. This one is a bit of a dancier tune. But in the past, I've done a bit of country. I've done a little bit of pop. I've done a little bit of kind of like soft rock. But I'd say if I was to sit myself anywhere, it would be on the softer rock kind of side of things. So my biggest inspirations are people like the Smiths, and I quite like Oasis and things like that. I don't really make music that sound a little bit like Oasis, but it's that kind of softer rock kind of side. Omar's here. Hello, Omar. Forgive me, Omar. The chats for some reason aren't working. They're not popping up on screen, so I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know whether it's just down or something. It's not working, but yeah, that's why your chat's comments aren't popping up. And Liminal says he's just dropped out of university, couldn't stand it. See, I always wish I went to university, but then I hear lots and lots of people say that it isn't all it's cracked up to be, and it's actually very, very difficult. So I completely appreciate why some people decide that it's not for them. What was you studying, if you don't mind me asking? That would be interesting to know. Omar, how have you been? How's your week been? Have you been busy? Thank you very much for tuning back in. We've got a few suggestions in the Discord of certain things to look at, certain songs to take a listen to, so we'll do that. We'll have a look, as usual, at some of the latest music releases that have happened, any big music news. But I did want to talk about YouTube and their copyright. And I know that you mentioned it last week, Omar, but it wasn't a very... I know that it had just happened to me with A Perfect Circle. But basically something happened today with a different reaction channel, and it's kind of pissed me off a little bit. So for context, and for those people that are watching after the live, when you watch this, a couple of weeks ago I got a notification off YouTube to say that a video I made probably two to 3 years ago now, it was a reaction video to A Perfect Circle and their cover version of Imagine by John Lennon. And the notification said to me that The video that I posted broke the YouTube guidelines as it contained graphic scenes, and as a result of that they took down the video and they gave me a warning, which wasn't a strike, but it was a warning. And what they said to me was that if I do it again, I'll receive a strike on the channel, which means that I wouldn't be able to go live for a week, and you only get 3 strikes and then your channel is deleted, taken down completely. But the thing that bothered me the most was having 1 strike removed your musician status from YouTube as well. So when I make songs and I post them up to DistroKid, it wouldn't automatically update to my YouTube channel. You know, you wouldn't be able to search for me in things like YouTube Music and stuff like that, which is kind of a big deal for me. So that happened, and it is what it is with that. But I follow a reaction channel called Brad and Lex, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of them. Basically I think it's a man and wife in America, and they're a bit like me. They don't claim to be, I mean, I am probably a bit, well, I am more musical than them. You know, I do play an instrument and stuff, and I studied it. But they don't claim to be any, like, kind of specific musician, or they haven't got any kind of, like, great music knowledge or anything like that. But they just like to enjoy music. And they posted this morning to say that they got a notification off YouTube to say that a video that they reacted to, which was an Eagles song, which they did years ago, same as me, 2 to 3 years ago, had been taken down because it had been copyright claimed by the copyright owner. I don't know who it was. One of the big labels, like a Warner or a Universal or something like that. But the thing that got me was that reaction video was already being monetized by the label. So it's not like they were claiming the royalties for it or anything like that. It was already being copyright claimed, as is 95% of any reaction channel's videos are already being copyrighted. But they took the video down and they got a strike for it. So what they did is they have then made all the Eagles reactions private, so that nobody else can see them. And then they got another notification to say that another Eagles reaction video had been taken down, and they received a second strike, which I think is ridiculous, because both of these videos happened years ago. Now, I completely understand if YouTube say, you've got a strike, don't do it again, and then you carry on making videos and you carry on, I don't know if you do challenge the copyright or anything like that, and you continue to break the rules. I kind of get that. But these were videos made before the initial strike was raised. So Brad and Lex are now at the point where they've got 2 strikes on their channel. They might get a third because the same label might go through their videos and go, right, well, that's one of ours as well, we're taking that down. So it could be that the channel gets 3 strikes and their whole YouTube account gets deleted off them for something that they haven't had the opportunity to rectify themselves. They haven't had the opportunity to learn from their mistakes, if you like, what YouTube want them to do. And the frustrating thing is they're a very big channel. Let me bring it up. Let me bring them up. I really like them. I really enjoy them. Brad and Lex. There we go. So I think we're on the right screen. Here they are. So 2 people, man and wife. They've just had a baby. If we have a look, they've got 308,000 subscribers. So they're not a small channel at all. And it would be such a shame if their entire channel was deleted because of videos that were made years ago. And like I said, these two videos that have been taken down were already being monetized by the label. It's not like Brad was, it's not like Brad and Lex were claiming any royalties for it. But the really frustrating thing is I was thinking about this, and nobody, what am I trying to say here? If you were watching YouTube to listen to a song, you wouldn't go to a reaction channel to listen to the song. If you wanted to go and listen to Judas Priest or whatever, you'd just go to the Judas Priest channel and you'd watch the song on YouTube. The reason why people watch reaction channels is for the reactors' opinions, the reactors' reaction, their thoughts, their input, the impact that that song has on them. Which in my eyes makes my input into a video the uniqueness of that video. It is me saying my thoughts and opinions on a song that makes a video unique. It is the reason why people watch my content. And yes, it contains other people's content, but that is not the reason for people going to that video. Surely there has to be some kind of challenge to YouTube to say, hang on, the material that we are making is unique. It is the reason why people watch our videos, and I just think it's really crappy that I think it's really crappy really that reaction channels can't get any kind of monetary input from YouTube really for doing reaction channels. But it's even more shitty that videos can get pulled and people can get warned and get threatened with being kicked off YouTube altogether for things that they done years ago. Like I said, if they carried on doing it after having the warning, then I totally get it. But to do something after 2 years is ridiculous. And yeah, it's just going to be a shame. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what I would do if I was in the position where I had 2 strikes. I think if I was in that situation, I'd probably have to change the direction of the channel and maybe focus more on music making or some other kind of music review or something. Maybe start taking the music out of the reactions, which is going to be a massive detriment to the video that you're watching really. But yeah, I just wanted to have a bit of a rant about that because I think it's sad really, because reaction channels, they do a lot for promotion, especially for some smaller bands. For example, Ren, that I listened to a couple of weeks ago, Ren wouldn't be in the position where he is on his channel if it wasn't for a few reactors reacting to his music and then it kind of snowballing and more and more and more and more people started listening to him. If you go to Ren's YouTube channel now, he's got like that one video, Hi Ren, has got like 10 million views on it, and that is only because of reactors. Now, to be fair to Ren, he openly says to all his reaction channels, claim the copyright on that video, I will let it go through, which is great, to be fair. So he will allow any kind of copyright claims to be released because he recognises that actually reaction channels do a little bit of promotion work for them. It's free publicity for them really. So it's just really sad. It's really sad that a video that Brad and Lex were not getting any money for anyway could be the reason why they actually get deleted off YouTube. And yeah, it's just shit. It's just shit. Let's have a look at some of the comments. I've had my little rant. I'm off my soapbox now. Yeah, YouTube works in mysterious ways. I don't get them sometimes because it's actively putting people off from creating this kind of content. Now there is a secondary platform that I've seen a few comments on today on the Brad and Lex video saying you should move to a new platform. Apparently there's a new platform out called Rumble. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but more and more reaction channels are also putting videos on there because apparently they're a lot less likely to get pulled on Rumble. I don't know whether they've got different guidelines or something like that. But, yeah, Brad and Lex are already moving across to Rumble. I hope they don't get deleted off YouTube, because essentially it is, I think it's like, if it's not the world's biggest search engine, it's the second largest search engine in the world. So, yeah, it's just a shame. It's just a shame. And some of you have already watched some of their videos. So Liminal says he's already seen them. Omar says he's watched a few of the videos as well. I don't think chats are still working, so I can't make them pop up on stream. But yeah, Omar says sometimes you just want to listen to something new, and that's why you search for what a YouTuber's listening. Because sometimes the YouTubers are good at keeping on top of what the trends are, listening to the latest songs. And sometimes if you want to listen to what's happening lately, you go and do that. I do that sometimes to figure out what is a good song to listen to. I go and have a look at what Tank the Tech's listening to, or what maybe not so much Rebecca Vocal Athlete, but some other people, what they're listening to. So yeah, 100% agree. Arrow to the ACL is here. Some channels should be able to claim fair use for teaching, like Doug, you, Brian, at Critical Reactions. And this is the thing, right? If you go... So, this is what I've been doing recently, since I started making videos again recently. Every time I get a copyright claim, I'll go in and I'll dispute it. Because, for the reasons that I've just said, I'm adding a unique factor to the video that is not replicated by anybody else. So therefore, I am creating unique material. And the annoying thing is in the dispute section on a copyright, you can drop down and you can say what the reasons why you think it's fair use. And one of them is, it's a reaction channel. So, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. I'll show you if you want. So, if I go to my studio, and if I go to my content, let's make sure that you can see what I'm looking at. You can. For some reason, it's not loading. But let's go and find one that hasn't got, that's got a copyright claim. I can't do Neighbour Viscaris because they all got denied. But let's just have a look at this obvert, invisible enemy. So if I go to here, copyright, and I can see that it's ineligible. If I go to see details, it says there, it's ineligible for monetization. It's not affecting the channel, but you can then go and dispute that. So if I click on dispute, let me just make sure that you can see the pop-up. You can. I can then go, my dispute isn't based on any of the reasons above. And I can go copyright exception such as fair use. I believe that my video is protected under fair use. And then the type of fair use, reaction video. So if it isn't possible whatsoever to have your copyright challenged because you're creating a reaction video, why is a reaction video in the drop down? And in there you'd put your reasoning as to why you think it is covered by fair use. But it's just frustrating that they allow you to dispute, and one of the reasons why they allow you to dispute is because it's a reaction video, yet people like Brad and Lex are getting threatened with takedowns because they're making reaction videos that are being copyright claimed. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. The worst part is that YouTube claim copyright on your own songs, and they have done. They have done. I've uploaded my songs to DistroKid. DistroKid then put that into YouTube, and then I made a video of my own song, and I got a copyright claim on it saying Tommy Jack Music has claimed copyright on your song. And I had to go back to DistroKid and I had to release the copyright on it. Or the alternative for that would be to go to YouTube and say, it's my song, I am the copyright holder. But yeah, they can copyright your own songs, they can claim it. And I think that is just an automatic thing, robots do that. you know. But what was I saying though? Lately, I have been disputing all my new videos that I've got a copyright claim on, and I've tried it. I've just chosen it's a reaction video, and I've put in my justification. This is my video. I'm offering my thoughts, my input, my opinions, and those in itself are unique. And for that reason, I think I'm creating unique content. Now, how many videos have I made in the past 6 or 7 weeks? Probably about 25, something like that. Maybe a little bit less. And the only ones that have been denied so far have been the Nabla Viscaris ones and one of the big bands. Wasn't a Metallica, because I haven't done a Metallica since I've come back. One of them got rejected. The rest of them, they've got 30 days to make a decision, and if they don't make a decision within 30 days, the copyright gets released and you can start making money on it. And that's what has been happening on a lot of the videos. It's just been expiring after 30 days, and I've started getting the money for it. But yeah, it's just a shame that it even happens. Arrow to the ACL says some musicians like Ren and lesser known bands are promoting reaction channels. I understand claiming copyright for the monetization, but it's dumb to block a reaction, especially when it's already being claimed, because all that they're doing now is the Eagles won't get any money from Brad and Lex's Eagles reaction video because nobody can see it anymore. And I know that the Eagles don't really need Brad and Lex's royalties, but it's not the point. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah, Arrow to the ACL problem finding the viewers to the channel. Rumble is not big enough yet, but once it gets big enough, they'll start getting issues from labels for copyrights. So yeah, I get that. Places like Rumble, it's a little bit like TikTok in the early days where people could get away with things like that, but even TikTok's getting a little bit tighter now with copyright and stuff, so I get that. Prof's here. Welcome, Prof. We're just having a rant about copyright. Basically, a really big reaction channel called Brad and Lex have been threatened with their whole channel being taken down for 2 Eagles videos that they made years ago that were already being claimed by the Eagles. So now they're at the point where they are facing the channel getting taken down. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind here on comments. So yeah, Arrow to the ACL's just confirmed what I just said. Usually the copyright claim gets released after a couple of days. I think the thing that you can't do is if someone comes back, like Nabla Viscaris said, no, we still want the money for this. I think then if you start to challenge that and you go and appeal it, that's when you can start getting yourself into some hot water with, you know, people taking you to court and things like that. But what I found over the last 6 or 7 weeks is just doing that initial dispute and saying, actually, I think it might be under fair use, and then just seeing what happens. That's alright to take it that far. Reaction channels are starting to get more views on videos. The reactors complain about how crappy YouTube is and it's fully monetized. Yep. It's one of the reasons, because they want people to incriminate themselves. Reactions are not fair use. However, what you do isn't just purely reacting. You review and add. Exactly. And I think if you were the kind of reaction channel that literally just presses play, goes right to the very end, and then doesn't really say anything, then I can get why you'd say, well, actually, you're not fair use. You are just playing my song here. But I do feel like I add some input. I try to talk about the music. I'm not very good at picking out certain things like Rick Beato does or like Doug does. But I do feel like I pick some stuff out. I try to make sense of lyrics. I try to put my own spin on what I think the lyrics are telling me. So yeah. Arrow to the ACL asks if Neo was blocked. Neo didn't get blocked. Neo's still live. But I did the initial dispute. Yeah, I initially disputed the copyright under fair use, and they very quickly came back and said no. And I think the first one took about 4 or 5 days, and they must have been doing them all in one go, because by that point, I'd done all the videos, and they all just got rejected straight away in the same day. So they didn't get blocked, but my dispute was turned down. So they're getting the money for that. But like, it's not as if it's massive amounts of money either. And I know that Brad and Lex are probably getting, well, I don't actually know how much more money they're getting, but because they're a bigger channel, they're probably still not getting much royalty-wise, because YouTube doesn't actually give you much royalty-wise. But, you know, Brad and Lex might have had some kind of sponsorship deal with another company, or, you know, they might be getting Patreon requests. They probably were getting Patreon requests. When I was doing Patreon a couple of years ago, that's where most of my income was coming from YouTube, through Patreon. I wasn't really bothered about the royalties. But just interesting this time, when I first turned on YouTube, again for the first time a couple of weeks ago, I think I was on average getting about £2.40 a month off YouTube for my royalties of all my historical videos that have not been claimed or anything like that. And since I've started disputing the copyright and letting them expire after 30 days, I think it's on about £8 a month now or something like that. So it's not a lot. It's only added £6 a month, but compared to the two, we have quadrupled the money that I was getting per month. So if you imagine my channel being, what was it, Brad and Lex's is like 30 times the size of mine, 30 times that £8 a month is quite a lot of money per month. So yeah, I am just gonna carry on disputing the copyright and just seeing where it goes. But anyway, I have talked about copyright now for about half an hour. And I do apologise, because it's just something that's really annoyed me this morning when I saw it, and I just thought it's just a shame that it's happening. Anyway, Prof, how are you? Have you been up that rock? And are you planning to go back anytime soon? We've got a few suggestions in Discord of a few songs to sing. I know Arrow to the ACL had posted in there about a few songs to listen to. Omar had put about a few genres that don't give you an indication as to what the song is going to sound like, which I thought was quite cool. And there was a genre in there that is based in Manchester, which is a genre that holds very close to my heart. So we might listen to a few songs from a few of those genres later on. But I don't know, I feel like I need to go and check the latest news. But I do this every week, and we pretty much usually find out that there isn't any news. Or the news that the news websites think is news isn't actually news. So, your knowledge, are there any major releases out? Is there any major pieces of news? And yeah, is there anything that needs to be discussed in the music world today other than copyright on YouTube? If you're not already in the Discord, by the way, or if you're watching this after the live has gone live, that's if YouTube hasn't taken my video down, because I've just spent the last half an hour slagging YouTube off. If you want to get involved in the Discord, there is a link in the description. I have edited it because Altai pointed out last week that it was the wrong link. So if you want to get involved in the Discord, there's that in there. There's a weekly vote. I am going to put the weekly vote in there tomorrow if I get time, for a reaction on Friday. But basically, for those of you that are in the Discord, for those of you that know Ainsley, we are both releasing a song soon. Our different songs. We've not done a song together. And we're going out for the day tomorrow to do some promo work, to do a few videos, to take a few artistic pictures on fields and stuff like that, just so that for those of you that were on last stream, I said to you that over the next couple of weeks I'm going to start making a few more videos to promote the next song that I'm releasing, and that's what tomorrow's about, just getting some of those videos together and stuff like that. So if you suddenly start seeing me in the next couple of weeks on a field or in a nice little countryside with Ainsley, then this is when it happened. It happened tomorrow. Arrow to the ACL said Haken start their US tour tonight. Okay, I really enjoyed Haken. I think I've heard 2-3 songs by them, and I've really enjoyed what they've shown me so far. I'll be going to the New York show next week, I'll be flying there and going to the show. Oh, hang on. You're going with Doug? That's cool. That's really cool. How did that happen? Do you know the guy or what? Omar says, I hope you can share Ainsley's song on Discord. I definitely will. It's actually Ainsley's not even doing a song. He's doing a whole album, and it's a post-rock album. It's very good. I really enjoy it. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, the stuff that he's made. He's basically been doing it with a guy that he went to university with, who lives in the city that we're going to tomorrow. That's why we're going up there, so that they can get pictures and videos and stuff together. But yeah, he's not made any music for a while. So I said to him, listen, I'm going to start doing this promo work. You want to start doing promo work? Let's do it together. A bit like going to the gym together. It's better if you go with a friend. You can encourage each other on, and you can say, what have you done today? So yeah, we're going to work on that together over the next couple of weeks. What else are you saying? I saw a headline about some controversy around Steven Tyler over his memoir. What was the controversy? What's he done? Steven Tyler, he's the Aerosmith singer, isn't he? He is. Aerosmith were my first... What am I going to say here? They weren't my first big band that I got into. My first album that I ever bought was Green Day's Greatest Hits. International Super Hits, I think it was called. But Aerosmith was the first kind of like rock band that I got into. So Prof says something about sexual assault, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't read the article, just saw it pop up. That will be interesting then to see what happens with that. I'm not sure whether I'm allowed. I say I'm not sure whether I'm allowed to talk about it, as if like this live stream is huge. There's literally like 5 or 6 of us all just chilling on a Wednesday night. I suppose we can probably talk about what we want. And I mean, I have just spent the last half an hour slagging YouTube off, so... but yeah, okay, so Arrow to the ACL says that he's Doug's mod. That's cool, then. That you go into the gig together. That's really cool. I hope you have a really good time. That sounds amazing. Kate Bush, Rage, and Willie Nelson will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay. How do you feel about that? How do you all feel about Kate Bush, Rage, and Willie Nelson being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? See, am I just being naive? I don't know. Was Kate Bush massive? Like, I know she did Wuthering Heights. I know she did Running Up That Hill. Did she do the Babushka song as well? Oh, Babushka, Babushka, Babushka. But did she, apart from those, did she make waves? Or is this me just with a massive gap in my music knowledge? I don't know. All I'm saying is, out of those 3, she's the one that I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, she blew up recently with Stranger Things. Yeah, because Running Up That Hill got back into the things, didn't it? They did it with the latest series as well, didn't they, with the Metallica song? What was the Metallica song that the guy learned how to play it in like 30 seconds? I saw a few memes online saying, you know, how did it take him so quick to learn such an intricate song? Master of Puppets, that was it, yeah. Liminal Space says she has a cult following. Okay. So she's got a large following. I don't know though, is that a good enough reason to go into the Hall of Fame? I don't know. And I don't know how it compares to other people getting into the Hall of Fame. I don't know previous people that have entered, whether there was any questioning or anything like that. Okay, arrow to the ACL. It's warranted, but prog bands continue to get snubbed. Okay, so here's a question then. If there is a band that you think should get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and this is a question to all of you, who should it be? Who has been like snubbed lots and lots of times that has never been able to get in there, but continually should have been in there by now? That's a good question. Let's see what you say to that. That would be interesting to see. Like, I'm going to Google Kate Bush songs, and let's just see if there's any more that I recognise. Kate Bush songs. I'm going to bring this up. Let's have a look at what I recognise. Kate Bush songs. Running Up That Hill. I know that. Wuthering Heights. I know that. Hounds of Love. I know that. But I only know that because a Newcastle band called the Future Heads did a cover of it, and it was great. And then I realised it was actually a cover. Babushka, I just badly sang that. Saxophone song, Sensual World. The Woman's Work. I feel like I might know what this woman's work is, but I'm not sure. Sat in Your Lap, Get Out of My House, Moments of Pleasure, Waking the Witch. See, I don't think I've ever heard of any of these songs. So here's a question, and it might be the wrong audience for you guys because of your kind of musical taste. Is Kate Bush worth... I was going to say something then, it sounded wrong. I was going to say, is Kate Bush worth dipping into? But I meant, like, is it worth listening to? Is it worth listening to some of her songs? Let me know. Is she worth listening to? So Genesis, Pink Floyd, and Rush are the only prog bands in the Hall of Fame. King Crimson, Jethro Tull, Iron Maiden aren't. Now, I would have expected to see Iron Maiden in there because they're a long-standing, pretty big, well, more than pretty big. That's me understating underestimating them again. They're more than pretty big, very big band. So it's interesting why they're not in there. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see who recently got added into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in recent years. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2022. Here we go. Inductees. Dolly Parton. Okay. Pat Benatar, Neil Geraldo. Don't know who they are. That might be huge. Why I don't know them. Eurythmics, okay. Eminem, okay. Carly Simon, Duran Duran. See, have Iron Maiden not had a bigger impact on music than Duran Duran? Or is that again just me being naive around that kind of... Because it's the same kind of era as Kate Bush. Am I right? So maybe it's just a chronological thing that I'm not getting into. Lionel Richie. Ugh. Lionel Richie in the Hall of Fame. Judas Priest. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Harry Belafonte. Jimmy Levine. Sylvia Robinson. Alright, what about in 2021 then? Who got in there? Let's have a look. Inductees. Tina Turner, Carole King, The Go-Go's, Jay-Z, Foo Fighters, Kraftwerk, LL Cool J. And I know that LL Cool J's been going for years, but really? Hall of Fame? 2020? Depeche Mode, Doobie Brothers, Whitney Houston, 9 Inch Nails, Notorious B.I.G. Okay. Okay, so there's some skeptical. There's some skeptical entrance in there. But I've just spotted the comment there from Arrow saying about is Tina Turner's rock. I don't know whether it feels like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has changed and it's not actually truly rock and roll, whether they just mean like music industry Hall of Fame now, and like the term rock and roll is being used in the same kind of vein as you would describe show business. That's rock and roll, that's show business, like it's that kind of lifestyle, maybe. I don't know, that's how it feels, because like Prof's just said, how would you justify people like Notorious going in there and Jay-Z, and you could argue maybe Eminem as well. It's probably just people that have had an influence in the music scene rather than specifically rock and roll. So, yeah. Okay, right, let's jump in with a reaction. Let's listen to some music, because I've been on here now for probably about an hour, and I've just ranted and looked at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, and I don't think anyone is, like Prof's just said, not that we're saying Notorious is bad. Of course, he's great, and everyone in there are great musicians, but I don't know. Have they really done... First of all, are they rock? Are they rock and roll? And then secondly, have they really pushed the boundaries, if that's what it is, on the music industry? I don't know. Prof says hate. Can we get hate by Overkill? And I think he's saying this because he wanted me to listen to it first last week, and I didn't, because I didn't see that he wanted me to listen to it in a specific order. So we will do Overkill, Hate. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Prof, but you wanted me to listen to this because this is old school Overkill, and you wanted me to listen to that in comparison to The Surgeon, good memory, which was the second one, which was new school Overkill. Is that right? That's where we're going to go. We're going to do Hate, Overkill. Overkill. Hate. And again, we might get some dodgy... Oh, it's I Hate. Is it I Hate? It's got to be. It's got to be I... Yeah, it's got to be I Hate. They're all saying I Hate. I'm going to go with a lyric video as well, Prof, if that's alright. Let me turn Spotify off. We'll get some dodgy adverts while I watch this video. And let's go in. Overkill, I Hate. Old school, I'm going to say thrash metal, right? Oh, I can skip this ad. I didn't choose the lyric video, did I? I said I was going to choose the lyric video and then didn't. guys. Yeah, I like that. That was Overkill. I hate. I think maybe the sound quality on that YouTube video wasn't the best because I couldn't really hear the lower ends. I couldn't hear the bass. Couldn't hear the kick. But I could really relate to the lyrics. Yeah. And do you know what? For as much as I don't know whether I can. Don't know whether I can talk about it too much because some people at work are starting to find out about YouTube and stuff like that. But as much as I sometimes struggle with my new job that I've got, which is very different to my old job, sometimes I am very, very glad that I'm not in that kind of corporate world that I used to be in, because I literally felt the same as that song every day. People would talk to you as if you were something on the bottom of your shoe. You know, they were like the top of the tree in the business, and they just looked down at you when you walked in the room. And people talk differently, and it really pisses me off. You're in a room and you're in an office and you're having a meeting, and people talk. It's like as soon as they put the shirt and tie on that they have to start speaking differently. They come out with all this kind of corporate bollocks, essentially. You know, they say the weirdest things for the simplest things, like instead of saying we'll talk about this later, they say we'll take this offline. And it's like, why don't you just say we'll say it later? You know, they just, yeah. And it was about 2 weeks ago I went for a job interview, which was back in the kind of corporate world that I used to be in. And within the first 30 to 40 seconds of her explaining what this new job is and what the team do, she said stuff like, we align ourselves to this strategy and we work towards this vision. And I instantly in my head I was just like, nah, I'm out, can't be bothered. You're talking to me in this kind of, it's like they're talking in tongues, but like corporate tongues. It's just frustrating. So yeah, I relate to that song. I relate to it. I get it. It was good. It was good. I liked it. I just wish that the sound quality of the song was a little bit better to appreciate some of those bass and kicks that weren't really coming through on here. What are you guys saying in the comments? Let's have a look. Why so much hate? Why so much hate? Because it's cathartic. It could be an anthem for YouTube copyright. It could. Prof, you might wear a shirt and tie to work, but do you ever say things like, let's take this offline? Do you ever say, actually, let's play Prof's corporate bingo. Has Prof ever said any of these phrases? Let's take this offline. Going forward. What else is there? It's about that piece. It's about that piece. What piece? What are you talking about? Or when people say, for me as a person, I think this. For me as a person, what compared to you as a giraffe? Like, oh, Prof has said going forward. Oh, Prof. We need to create a new role for you in Discord. We need to create some kind of fitting Discord role for you going forward. Have you ever said punch a puppy? That's the weirdest thing that I've ever heard. A boss said to me one day, I think we're just gonna have to punch a puppy with this one. And I was like, what do you even mean? And what it means is like doing something that's bad for the good of something else, for the good of the business. You know, it's like biting the bullet kind of thing. We're gonna have to punch a puppy. What? Why are you talking? Why are you saying that? So, Prof, have you ever said punch a puppy? If you have, is there a block button on YouTube? Right, let's head over into Discord. Let's see. I know that a few suggestions came through. Oh, Liminal's joined the Discord. Thanks very much for joining, Liminal. It's good to have you. Right, okay, so when I read this comment before, Arrow had me at high level musicianship, modern jazz fusion, Nova Collective, and the song is Cascade. I'm digging that. Just at the suggestion. So let's do that. Nova Collective, Cascade. And then he mentions that there is a concept band, Deer Hunter. Now, have I listened? I think I've listened to a Deer Hunter song on the channel many moons ago. You guys will have to let me know or not. But he says, and I really should get Discord on the screen, but I've not figured out how to do it yet. The Deer Hunters 5 acts are 5 separate albums but one concept story. They finished that story and have started a new one last year called Anti-My, which I'm digging. This was 2022 album of the year. Check out Deer Hunter Ring 7. So maybe that is something that we could do maybe as a bit of a theme after I've done the Baby Metal concept album. But yeah, we'll do Nova Collective, Cascades. Barry's here. Hi Barry, how are you? I hope you're okay. For some reason I can't get your comments to flash up on screen. I think there might have been an update and it's just not working, but I'm still reading all your comments. So let's head over now to Nova Collective and Cascades. Do you know what is weird? This time 3 or 4 years ago, I wouldn't look at a song and go, oh, it's only 7 minutes long. And now I'm just like, it's 7 minutes long. That's quite short, really. Right, Cascades. This is the one. 6 minutes 54. Strange Machines is here as well. We've got some newbies. Got some newbies coming here. Welcome. We're listening to Nova Collective, high level musicianship, modern jazz fusion. So let's see what this is all about. Let's make sure that you can see what you need to see. Need that on a t-shirt, don't we? This is where we play the weekly game of what is YouTube pushing to Tommy advert wise, and so far it thinks I've got a bad back.
Feel the difference with the UK's #1 selling topical relief products.
Nice bass lines. What I like about the bass line so far is it's interesting enough to prick your ears up and go, oh, that's cool. But there's also lots of space in it, which allows you then to take in the rest of the song. But there's so much going on at the minute. I'm still struggling to find out what the time signature is. And, you know, it's jazz fusion, high level musicianship. So it's probably going to be something really weird and wonderful. But I'm liking this sound so far. Nice little organ stabs. That's nice. If you've got headphones on, you've got that pan in there from the piano, which was really nice, really nice. And I like how silent that was, because you've got no choice but to notice that, just because how there's nothing else going on. What is that? I feel like I need to lie down after that. That was really good. That was really, really good. I do feel that is the kind of song, though, that if Rick Beato was listening to that, that would be like an hour and a half reaction of him just breaking everything down. There was so much. I was going to say there was too much going on there, but that makes it sound like a negative. There was so much going on there. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. That's right up my street. I feel like I need a couple more listens of that just to kind of take everything in, because it's that kind of song, I think, where each time you listen to it, you'll notice different things. But that was really good. That was really good. I did notice, whilst I'm listening to the song, I have got the comments on my phone, and I have noticed a few comments coming through that I've not been able to respond to. So let's just go through the comments, and I'll see what we can answer. We've got a few new people here. Barry's joined. I said hello to Barry. Hi. Strange Machines is here. Hi. Welcome. Thanks for joining. So let's just have a look. Can we super chat requests, or what's the go? I mean, I'm never going to say no to a super chat, Strange Machines. Obviously, it's always appreciated. But if you mean, do you have to super chat to do a request? No, you don't. So there's two places you can do requests. You can go into the Discord and you can leave your requests or suggestions in the suggestions channel, and then what we'll do is we go through like a weekly vote, and we do that on the live streams. Because there's a handful of people together that come together every week, then what we'll tend to do there is, if you've got any kind of suggestions there, stick them in the chat, and if we've got time, we'll go and do them. So let's just have a look. So you, like I'm saying, you don't have to do a super chat. If you want to request a song, then you can drop it in the comments. I just need to remember it, that's all. Daniel Berger's here. Hello, Daniel Berger. I hope you're okay. I hope you're I don't know why I said I hope you're the second time round. Thanks for joining. Good to have you. So Barry seems like he knows Daniel Berger, because he's called him D Burger, which sounds like it's some kind of nickname. Arrow says that's the bassist from Between the Buried and Me, which, again, naivety. I don't know what that band is. I'm guessing that's another band. Barry says, Tommy, is it okay if me and my friend make a request each? It is absolutely fine for you to make a request each, Barry. Just stick them in the comment, and we'll get round to doing them. Daniel has missed you, Strange. Okay, so Daniel knows Barry, and Barry knows Strange, and Daniel knows Strange, I'm guessing. It's good to have you all here. It's good to have you all here. There's a comment that I did see whilst I was watching, and I just wanted to... With no Discord, do we just give a request here in the chat? Yes, you can. But then I think I saw something that said Discord's not working. We usually do the... Oh, okay, so Barry said we usually do them in Discord, but Tommy said it's not working. So if we get one, I suppose we just give him the request here in the chat. Discord is working, but I think the problem was that I can't get the chats to show up on the stream this week. So usually I can click on your comment, like I just have done, and it will show up on the stream. But that's not working this week, the actual the chat popping up on your screen. So Arrow says this is the members of Haken, Cynic, and Between the Buried and Me. Okay. So is this like a bit of a super group kind of thing? If you like this, the entire album is amazing. Okay, there's chat going on about stuff that I don't know about, so I'm just going to let you guys chat around that, chat about that. Barry wants... Right, I think I'm going to need to write these down. Let me get a notepad out. I'm looking for a notepad, like I've not got one on my laptop here, or on my computer. So Barry wants Fate's Warning. Scars. Did I hear Fate's Warning get mentioned in the Discord at the end of the last week's stream? I think so. Let's have a look. Strange Machine says Profiler Metamorphosis. Sorry if this is taking you guys an age, because you've already seen these comments and I haven't. So I'm sorry. Barry says he ratted me out to my friends. Okay. And then Daniel Berger says Vintasy Unleveling Light. Now that rings a bell. And I don't know whether I've done Unleveling Light before. Let's have a look. Let me just have a quick look on my on here. Have I done a Vintasy song? No, I haven't done a Vintasy song. It must be a song that's cropped up in my comments before, or it's been in the Discord vote a few times. So, just before we jump into those, I know that there was some mentioned in the Discord earlier this evening, so let's have a look. Arrow, we've done that. Omar mentioned about the genre list, which we can have a look a little bit later on. Liminal Space said, can we listen to Lay Down by the DMAs? Okay. He says they're a little bit like Oasis. Now, I'm here for Oasis. You can see that there is a Stone Roses plaque up in my living room. So I was surrounded by all the Manchester kind of scene as I grew up. My not my parents, they were too old, but my brothers, who were all like 15, 16 years older than me, they were all listening to that kind of stuff. So I grew up on that kind of stuff. So let's do that. Let's Lay Down by the DMAs. And yeah, let's do that. Strange Machines is watching from New Zealand. What time is it over in New Zealand then? It's got to be breakfast time, right? Like 8, 9 o'clock, something like that. Right, what screen are we on? We are on the normal screen. So let's head over here and let's do Lay Down by the VMAs. Right, okay. I think I need your help because there's a few different videos here. This one? I'm guessing it's this one. DMA's Lay Down. Now, the only thing that makes me nervous is that it's a Vivo video. And Vivo videos can sometimes get taken down. Copyright, that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to see if there's any lyric videos. There's an MTV Unplugged version, which is probably even more riskier, really. So we might listen, well, we will listen to this. So this is the DMA's Lay Down. Just make sure we're on the right screen. And apparently these are a little bit like Oasis. So let's give them a listen. Let's see what advert it's going to push to me now. So far I've had a bad back. Let's see. Chewing gum. I've got a bad back and smelly breath. Sorry, nice touch on the video there. As he says drift away, the two scenes kind of separate from each other. I like that. Simple but effective. Drift away. I like that as well, that pre-chorus, because you've got this high energy music so far. You've got the guitar chords, you've got the bass, you've got the drums, and then for that pre-chorus it just dies out. You just got that clean, well, relatively clean acoustic in the background, and that's it. And it's just something that just kind of settles you in. You're like, okay, what's happening? And then they hit you again like that. Lay down, give me someone new. Lay down, give me someone new. I know that it's drifting through a vein. My friend was found, lost in worlds far away. Okay, that was a DMAs. I've never heard of that band. You guys will have to tell me a little bit about this band. Who are they? And they've got 48.9 thousand subscribers. Let's just bring this back up again. 48.9 thousand subscribers. So they're not a huge band, but they did do an MTV Unplugged video. So, yeah, that kind of sound is right up my street. Like Omar's just said in the lyrics, in the comments, I get the Oasis-y vibes there. That kind of era of sound. Yeah, I like that. I'd be interested to listen to more of these. But yeah, just get in the comments and let me know who they are, where are they from, how big are they, how big were they, are they still current and relevant, or are they, you know, are they done now kind of thing, or what? Barry, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Like I said in the comment, it's never expected, but things like that, they all add up, and you know, they help me to just carry on doing this stuff. They'll so thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah, that was DMAs, Lay Down. Yeah, I like that. Let's see what's happening in the comments section. Strange Prestige says actually more like Richard Ashcroft. Okay, yeah, I get that. It's that kind of era. They've got that sound to them, if you like. I'll get a copyright on the advert. Yeah, I probably would get a copyright on the advert. So Barry's going to see Vintasy soon, so that request is basically for him as a thank you for dragging me in. Okay, let's have a look just very quickly before we go to the other ones, because Omar shared something that was really quite interesting in the comments of Discord in the chat. Basically a list of musical genres that you wouldn't necessarily know what the genre is by the name of the genre. So let's have a look. Can I find this on YouTube? Let's see if I can find it on YouTube, and we'll bring the list up on here. This is all last minute. So what was it? Rate your music genres only music snobs know about. Hopefully this will bring the right one up. So, can you see what you need to see? Yeah. So, basically, this is a list of genres where the actual name of the genre doesn't give you an indication of what it sounds like. Like heavy metal, you get an idea of what heavy metal is going to sound like by the name. So, here's a list of genres that you wouldn't necessarily know. C86. C86 is a cassette compilation released by the British music magazine NME, Musical Express, in 1986, featuring new bands licensed from independent labels of the time. And as a phase, it developed quickly into a shorthand guitar-based musical genre, characterized by jangly guitars. And interestingly, it gives you some key artists that fall into each of these genres. I've never heard of C86 as a genre, and I don't think I've ever heard of any of these. Oh, I've heard of The Wedding Present, but I've not heard of any of the other bands that fall into that. Canterbury scene is a term used loosely to describe the group of progressive sock, I nearly said then, avant-garde and jazz musicians. So we've got bands like Caravan, Gong, Hatfield in the North, Soft Machine, never heard of any of those. Paisley Underground is a term to describe the genre of music based primarily in Los Angeles, California, popular in mid-80s. I don't think I've heard of Paisley Underground either. And some of the bands, Dream Syndicate, Game Theory, Rain Parade, 3 O'Clock, not heard of them. Here's the one that is close to my heart, and it's Manchester. And thinking about it, you wouldn't know what kind of music Manchester is, but it's essentially just from the mad days of Manchester. The whole clubbing scene, hacienda, and what that evolved into. And some of the bands here: Charlatans, Happy Mondays, In Spiral Carpets, Stone Roses, and yeah, Omar pointed this out because of this Stone Roses plaque that's in my living room. But let's just listen to one of these songs. Now, I've heard of all of them. I don't think I've heard Some Friendly by the Charlatans. So let's listen to that real quick. The Charlatans and Some Friendly. Just as a bit of an homage to Manchester. Oh, it's an album. That's why I've not been able to pin it down to a song. Okay, so the only one I know is on the album. So let's listen to the opening song, You're Not Very Well by the Charlatans, and see what that sounded like. Charlatans, You're Not Very Well. Let's give it a listen. Let's see what kind of sound they had.
Go be the change. You know you'll thank me later.
Hey, pal.
Yeah, like this.
Nice. Okay. Genuinely haven't heard this song before. like it's almost a little bit. When I say trancey, I don't mean like the genre trance music. It's almost like that kind of quite repetitive, puts you in a, like, you can imagine this music would have been played in nightclubs at the time. Lots of people would have been on drugs. I've just seen a comment come up that said like bassline drives this. This would have been pumping out. People would have just been like vibing to that music. It does what its purpose was at the time, really, wasn't it? It's just to allow people just to chill at the end of the night after a heavy night, drinking, taking drugs, whatever they were doing. I really like that. That was just an easy listen. That was good. That's the kind of song that I could imagine being in the car, window down, sunny day, just vibing to that song. And what I liked was in the chorus, when everything else comes in, it took away slightly from the bass when everything else comes in, but the organ in the background still had that rhythmic element in there, lots of syncopated stabs just to keep the rhythm kind of going. If you listen to that again in that chorus towards the end, listen to the little syncopated off the beat stabs. See, yeah. I like it, and it's got soft vocals as well. So, like I said before, nothing is really overpowering anything. The main focal point of the song for me was the bass, and everything else was just kind of supporting and working towards that. And even the solo that came in midway through, that didn't really outshine anything. It was still very simple, just allows you to just listen, if that makes sense. It's not a chore to listen to that song. You're not picking out, like the song that we heard before, the Nova Collective, you was trying to figure out what the time signature was and all that. It's just an easy listen. It's just like, yeah, okay, I can listen to this. This is just an experience that can just come in my ears and just go back out the other side, and it's a pleasant sound. I like that. So I saw a comment coming from Omar saying that there's some more interesting genres at the end of that list. So let's go back to that list. I've just realised I'm on the other side of the screen when I click this screen. Usually I'm on the left hand side. I think that's because I was making some videos on when I was making my song, and I needed this corner of my screen to show like the amps and stuff that I was choosing. So let's go back to this list. So that's Manchester, and that's back to the 80s and 90s of basically drug-induced Manchester, essentially. Shoegaze. This is a genre pretty well known within internet music circles, communities and critics, but overall not a popular genre with mainstream classic rock or casual listeners. Shoegazing is a genre of alternative rock that emerged from the United Kingdom in the late 1980s. It lasted until the mid-90s, with a critical zenith reached in 1990 to 1991. And some of the bands, Catherine Wheel, Kitchens of Distinction, what a name, What a name for a band. Kitchens of Distinction. My Bloody Valentine. That name rings a bell. For those of you that are new, I have a massive musical gap that isn't what I already know. And I know that that's a really obvious thing to say. But when I was a kid, I grew up on 50s, 60s, country and western, big band swing, jazz, and then some rock like the Eagles, and my stepdad used to listen to the Moody Blues, but a lot of it was Frank Sinatra, Bobby Darin, Ella Fitzgerald. So I've got all that bit rounded off, Beatles, all that kind of stuff. And then the 70s, I know next to nothing about. 80s, I know next to nothing about. And it's only then when I became a teenager and I started discovering my own music, which was Manchester, pretty much, Smiths, Stone Roses, Joy Division, Oasis, all that kind of stuff, and then future stuff which has been like Coldplay, Arctic Monkeys. Most of the stuff that I've learned so far has been off this channel. People like you getting involved and letting me know what's music to listen to. So if I say something like I've never heard of a particular band, and you're like, what? How have you not heard of them? It's probably because of where they sit chronologically is in my gap of knowledge, which is around 70s, 80s, some early 90s and stuff. We've got a No Wave here. No Wave was a short-lived but influential art music, film, performance, art, video and contemporary art scene that had its beginnings in the mid-70s. It's not clearly definable music genre with consistent features. Okay. Various groups drew on such disparate styles such as funk, jazz, blues, punk rock, avant-garde and experimental. But there are some elements common to most no wave, such as abrasive atonal sounds, repetitive driving rhythms, and a tendency to emphasize musical texture over melody. You know, that sounds really interesting. That does sound interesting. I might have to listen to some no wave at some point. Oh, and they give us quite a lot of artists for no wave here. Bratmobile, Bikini Kill, Sleater Kinney, Dream Dresh. Then we've got Dunedin. Now I think it's Dunedin. Isn't there a place in New Zealand called Dunedin? I'm sure I used to sell a bed. When I used to work for a bed shop back in the day, we had a bed called Dunedin, and someone said it was a place in New Zealand. Think so. Similar in many ways to the traditional indie pop sound, the Dunedin sound uses jingly jangly guitar playing, minimal bass lines and loose drumming. And we've got Split Enz. I've heard of them. Split Enz became someone else. Pretty famous. Let's have a look. Who did Split Enz become? Crowded House. They became Crowded House, or the members went and joined Crowded House or founded Crowded House afterwards. Oi, as a genre, I should say. Oi is a working class street level subgenre of punk rock that originated in the United Kingdom in the 1970s. It just sounds loud, doesn't it? Oi. The Oi movement was partly a response to the sense of many participants in the early punk rock scene were, in the words of the business guitarist Steve Kent, trendy university people using long words trying to be artistic. So it sounds like a more direct, layman's terms version of punk. That sounds interesting. I've heard of Cockney Rejects. I've heard of Sham 69. Not heard of Blitz or Cocksparrow. We've got crust punk. That sounds disgusting. Sounds like you should go to the doctor if you've got crust punk. Crust is partly defined by its bassy and dirty sound. It is often played as a fast tempo with occasional slow sections. Vocals are usually guttural and maybe growled or screamed. Okay, maybe I'm out. Doom. I think I've heard of Doom. We've got Zool. Berlin School. Electronic music. So this is like German electronic music. Not heard of Tangerine Dream. I've heard of them. Then we've got Plunderphonics. This is really interesting, this list. Avalanches, John Oswald. Lowercase as another genre. Is an extreme form of ambient minimalism in which very quiet sounds bookend long... Oh, hang on. Very quiet sounds bookend long stretches of silence. Really? Okay. Has anyone here heard of lowercase as a genre? Omar said that, I think he said that there was a technical metal genre in here. This list is long. Glitch music. I think I'm going to have to go away and look at some of these and pick out some of the interesting ones and listen to some songs properly. Maybe do a few reactions to them. But some of these sound really interesting, especially having a bit of a context as to what the genre is going to sound like. It gives you a bit of a setup for when you're listening to the song. Right, okay. Let's dip into some of the suggestions that came through. And then just looking at the time, it is 12:30 midnight here. And I do have my little girl in her bed ready for school in the morning. So I am going to have to call it short soon. So let's have a look at some of these suggestions that come through. We've got Fate's Warning, Scars, and then we're going to listen to Profiler, Metamorphosis. So, Fate's Warning. I remember there was some comments in the Discord about Fate's Warning last week, and a few people were saying that they liked this band, from, if I remember rightly, or if I read the chat correctly. Remember, if you are new, we do have a Discord. The link is in the description. You can get in there. You can get involved in the chat. What I like about it is it's not overly busy in that Discord, so it's not like your comments get lost like you can sometimes get in some Discord channels where you can say something and within 10 seconds your comment is way up in the gods, can't be seen unless you scroll up. Your comment will be seen because it's not overly active. It is active, but it's not overly active. But in there we've got suggestion channels. You can leave your suggestions. We've got a weekly vote. So I take some of the suggestions that I've had in the Discord, some of the comments that I've had during the week, we put it to a vote, and everybody gets a vote on there. So have a look in there if you are interested in that. So we've got Fate's Warning, Scars. Let me make sure you've got the right screen. You can see that. And let's see if there is I was going to say if there's a lyric video, but it might be that it's an instrumental, and that might be why there's not. So let's just have a look at this Fate's Warning, Scars, the official video. Let's go. What's this advert? Beer, chewing gum, bad back, PayPal, and now beer. Sounds like a good weekend. Sorry, we do have the Vintasy suggestion as well. I just forgot to write it down. I've just remembered that. Sorry. Harmony guitars, like that. Nice. Nice panning with the guitar again. What I've noticed, and I'm just hoping you can hear it in the last bit of the song, the guitar at some points sounds unison in the left and right, and I don't know whether it's centralized when it comes to panning or whether they've double tracked it, one left and one right, but they're playing the same thing or it's the same track. And then at some point, and it's really subtle, but they drift and they start playing different things, and it's just nice because it creates an extra layer in the song where you feel like you're settled, and then all of a sudden they're playing something different and you're like, oh, there's two things going on now. I like that. Vocals, I've just seen a comment in there, vocals are really good, harmonies are really nice, and they're interesting harmonies as well. They're not the usual like third and fifth which most people do. They're you can tell that there's been a lot of thought. They're not just adding harmony for the sake of it, they're adding harmony to add extra value to the song. I like that. Alti's here. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That was Fate's Warning and Scars. Now, lyrically, I didn't know what they were saying. I couldn't really make it out because I was concentrating on the music, so I don't really know the message of the song. But musically, that was really good. Really strong vocals, really strong musicianship. It was really well produced as well. And like I said, just the little things like the interesting harmonies, the use of the panning of that guitar bit in the breakdown, and just how they subtly separate and start doing their own thing was really interesting. I like that. Fate's Warning. They'd be another band that I'd be interested in listening to more of. That was good. That was really good. Right, we had another one. We had Profiler, Metamorphosis, and then someone remind me, what was the Vintasy song that you wanted me to listen to? I remembered that it was Vintasy, but I forgot to write down what the song was. So let's bring up Profiler. Was that it? Profiler. There we go. It's in there already. And I get really nervous, but I just keep making sure that you can see the right screen, because I've done that before where I've just been like this and you can't see or hear what I'm listening to. So we'll just go with that. Profiler Metamorphosis official music video. Let me make sure I've got the chat open so that I can see your comments. Altai, I did just say like, hi, Altai's here, but I hope you're well. Glad to have you here, and I hope you're staying safe and stuff. So yeah, Profiler Metamorphosis. Let's go. The video, the thumbnail that's moving, looks like it might be heavy, so let's do it.
A mobile network that works on your terms, not ours. GiftGaff, we're up to good.
Hellman's Mayonnaise. Every dollop is so rich and creamy.
Mayonnaise now.
Irresistible.
Oh. Does this all the time. Skips it. Nice. Ah. was Profiler. Metamorphosis. I liked that. That was heavy. Is heavy the right word? Yeah, I think it was. What I liked about that was nobody was particularly shredding on the guitar. The riffs that they were playing musically were lots of long, elongated notes, and they were letting the sound of the notes fill the void in your ears. You know, they weren't playing really intricate riffs. They were just letting the sound of what their guitars were making, those long notes, just fill the sound. Was the snare turned off? Like, you know, there's a little catch underneath that releases those metal bands. Was that released? Because it sounded like it was really... it didn't feel like it had any, like any kind of high-pitched hiss to the snare like you sometimes get. It just sounded open, empty. Not empty, that's a bad word to say. It sounded like it was really... I can't think of the word. But if you just listen to what I'm saying about just... They weren't particularly playing very busy riffs, but the sound that the riffs were making created this... was the song. Let's just go back a little bit to somewhere around here. Watch me pick the bit where they play a busy riff now. See, yeah. That's what I mean. Just lots of long, one-note, elongated sound that was just building and creating that sound. I like that. What kind of... What subgenre of metal would that fit into? Because I like that kind of sound. So if there's other bands that kind of fit into this pocket, I'd be interested to know. But yeah, that was Profiler Metamorphosis, and again, it doesn't look like they're. I was going to say it doesn't look like they're a massive band because they're on Sharp Tone Records, which has got 226,000 subs. How many views has this video got? Only 25,000 views. So, not massive. Strange Machine says it's modern metalcore. Post new metal. Okay, I think I like modern metalcore / post new metal. Right, the next song, and probably going to be the last song, is Vintasy, and I saw the comment come up to say which one it was. Vintasy Unveiling Light, that was it. Now, Vintasy, for some reason, and this might just be me being a bit, not prejudiced, that's not the right word, jump into conclusions, but when I hear the name Vintasy, I get the whole kind of, it's going to be like a Sabaton-y kind of like not pirate metal, maybe that's just because I'm hearing the word sea, but that kind of like chanty, symphonic-y metal kind of sound. So we'll see how wrong I am. Let's see how wrong I am. But that's just the vibe that I'm getting from the name Vintasy. Maybe that's because it's spelt Vinter and not winter. Right. Vintasy, Unveiling Light. This is going to be the last song. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've really enjoyed tonight. And what I like about these live streams is everyone's different. We listen to all kinds of different music. We've gone from metal. We've gone to Manchester scene. We've done Vintasy and all the things that's in between. I've just realised as well that Prof suggested that we listen to a song, Primus, but he's gone now, hasn't he? So I might do Primus during the week, because I did want to listen to more Primus, because I did a reaction to My Name Is Mud this week, and a lot of people were saying actually probably a poor choice of song to listen to as the very first song for that band. Listen to other songs. So Prof suggested that I listen to Devil Went Down to Georgia by them, which obviously I know that song, so if it's a cover I'll know the song. So I think I'm going to do a Primus reaction next week sometime, so stick around for that. This is Vintasy, Unveiling Light. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to click the thumbs up, let YouTube know that you've liked it. Join the Discord if you haven't already. And if you like this kind of music, subscribe to the channel. We've got tons of metal, and you can relive me, I was going to say exposing myself to metal music. That sounds wrong. Being exposed to metal music for the first time. And yeah, let's go with this. Vintasy, Unveiling Light.
You'll never guess what. Dettol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% of odour-causing
I need
bacteria
to figure
in
out
your
why
laundry.
I'm getting these adverts.
What's that smell? That's right. It's me.
Oh, it's done that thing, sorry, where it's... I need to sort out where my mouse is when I press play. Let's go again. Nice harmony. Oh. Okay. Vintasy. Unveiling Light. I think this was suggested to me after I did the Ginger reaction thinking about it. And this is why I saw it in the comments. And this is probably about the same time that I saw it started popping up and I started putting it into Discord reactions. It's got that same kind of vibe to it, hasn't it? Where one half of it has got this gentle voice and then she hits us with a guttural growls and a bit of a screamy bit in there. I think the song could have done with being maybe a tone, or maybe not 2 tones, but a tone or a tone and a half, just a little bit higher, because when she was singing in a normal voice, it felt like it was quite low in her range, and there wasn't the power there. We didn't like it. Felt more powerful when she was. I was gonna say it felt more powerful when she was screaming and when she was growling. I suppose that's the point. But I don't know. I felt like when it was like natural voice of hers, it felt a little bit thin. Maybe not thin, but not well supported. I felt like she was drowned out a little bit by the band. But that's a completely different other end of the spectrum to what we've just heard, because that was very busy from a riff point of view, from a guitar playing point of view. And what it looks funny on the video, because you look at them all playing guitar and it looks like it's simple what they're playing, but to hear it, that drummer's going crazy, the guitarists are going crazy, she's going crazy, but to look at them, they're just like, so it was just really weird to see. But yeah, I feel like it needs to have just gone up a little bit. Omar says definitely not a pirate song. It wasn't a pirate song. It wasn't a Sabaton-esque kind of song either. What else is everyone saying? We'll get you into those primal vocals eventually. Yeah, I'm getting used to them. I really want to learn how to do it. I'd love to just make a song and just surprise everyone with like growls, because that would be cool. Because this time 3 years ago I'd never really heard any metal songs, and it'd be cool for me to release a song that's got me growling. And I've watched a few YouTube videos on how to do it, but I can't bring myself. I can't get the power. I can't even do it. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll wake up Mary downstairs and I'll wake up my little girl in the bedroom next door. But maybe you'll hear a song in the future with Tommy growls on there. Anyway, right, I've got to go. I've got to go to bed. I'm up at 7 o'clock in the morning to get my little girl to school. But I've really enjoyed tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. For those people that tune in every week, thank you for coming back. And to the newbies, welcome, and thank you very much for being a part of it. I've really enjoyed it. Like I said, get in the Discord, like, subscribe, do what you want to do. Do what you need to do to let YouTube know that you're liking these live streams. And result, we didn't get taken down midstream for copyright, which is great in itself. So I'll be back again next Wednesday for another live stream. Between then, there'll be reactions coming through. Definitely on Friday, that'll be the Discord vote winner. And then I'll try and get one out Sunday, Monday, or something like that. Just over the next few days, a lot of my work that I'm doing outside of my job will be about getting the promo ready for my next song, which is called Stuck, which you'll be able to hear soon. I've had feedback that it sounds like Hadaway, What Is Love, which I was a bit surprised at when I heard that. But if you're into Hadaway, then hopefully you'll like my next song, which is called Stuck. You can find my music on Spotify if you just want to search for Tommy Jack. It's a whole eclectic mix of soft rock, country, pop. So have a listen to that, and I'll see you again next Wednesday. Until next time, guys, stay safe, good night, and I'll see you very soon. Take care, guys. Goodbye.